Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yasharala. Call Haloyim Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakah Kodash for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth, so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith and the works. Y'all keep at it. This your brother Abai coming at you with more precepts. This is the book of Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right? When I tell you this devil is being exposed, I'm talking about skirt all the way up, man. This devil has been exposed. This dude you see on the screen went all the way in on the actual facts about things as it pertains to, what's going on this earth and the different moves that's being made really blatantly in your face if you got an ear to hear and an eye to see. Meaning you really are paying attention to what's going on in this world. If you're not paying attention to what's going on in this world, you just focused on what's being given you, right, by whatever social media account you have, or by whatever news channel you follow on your local cable, station or whatever, then you lost in the sauce, man. Real talk. You real deal lost in the sauce. Their whole narrative is controlled to fit a certain side. Period. You will not get both sides of the story in any event. Right, whether you're talking about a war in Ukraine or whether you're talking about the state of the dollar, you'll never get both sides. You'll only get whatever the narrative is that they want you to believe, that they want you to have hope in and faith in. That's what they're going to pump in your ear and in your eyes 24/7. They're going to get celebrities to push that, so that the people that you look up to, right, that you think are so sincere, that you think are so trustworthy, they're going to get them people to real deal mold your mind to view this world a certain way. Right? That's the formula of old, and it's a steady formula. They know it's tried and true. Right? But the Most High done did some in these last days. His spirit of truth has been unleashed on this earth. Matter of fact, this is the book of Joel, chapter 2, and verse 28, it says, And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions, and also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit. The spirit of truth is on this earth. So now you got everybody that's seeing the world either one or two ways. Either you blind to the facts, or you real deal seeing what's up. And that's for everybody. Right now, as far as Yasharala go, your whole truth resides in who you are. But as far as the heathens go, their truth only goes so far. It's limited for them to be able to see this world for the wickedness that it actually acts in on a day-to-day basis. All right, let me go back to Second Thessalonians. Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. Right, speaking about the son of perdition, that man of sin being revealed. Right, it says, Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. This devil is real deal trying to create a new digital world. They don't, the Most High done blessed them with the sword. That sword come in different variations. Right, it's an actual sword. Right, it's an educational system. It's a monetary system. It's the system, period. Right? What does a sword do? A sword destroys. So they create things to destroy people. In this new digital world order that they are creating, it is not for the benefit of the people. Damn sure ain't for the benefit of Yasharala. you so-called blacks, you so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans, and all our brethren around the world, all of so-called Negro descent. The fact that we got to say so-called, it's a sword, man. It destroys, right? Mentally, physically, it destroys, right? And this dude been blessed with that, right? So with this new digital sword that he has, this man is real deal trying to replace the Most High because they feel that technology is so advanced and advancing at a rapid pace day to day that they don't need the Most High. That's why they feel bold enough to push what they push, right? The things that are normal now that weren't normal back in the day, that's why they feel so bold to push that because they feel like they're beyond the days of old, right? Verse 5 in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, right? So these things were that we see in the day, they've been written for over 2,000 years ago, right? Our people been waiting on these prophecies to come to pass, and now we in the midst of it, right? It says, and now you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time, and this is the time. Right? Notice what the first verse that I read, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come. That day, speaking of the day of the Lord, the day when Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai returns on this earth for the sake of, or for the purpose of salvation for Yasharallah and destruction of the daughter of Babylon and getting all these heathen nations in order, right? It says in verse 6, and now you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. Now is that time. Right? Verse 7 says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Yahweh been allowing these individuals to move how they want to move only for a specific purpose and a specific time. And that time is almost up. Right? It says, and this is how I know. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. So this new digital world order, like I said, it ain't nothing good for the people because it's after the workings of Satan, right? It's adverse to the Most High, right? It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. So now it's more important than ever, right? It's always been important, but now that we coming toward these times, hey man, if you see the truth and that truth resonating with your spirit, stop playing yourself and get with it. Bump with this world talking about this world is deceived. This world is basically sheep being led to destruction. So you either in that line of destruction or you in that line of salvation. Choose ye this day, man. So with that being said, I'm going to let this video play and I'll be back.
There is so much of significance going on in the world that totally dominates the media cycle. You know, we're talking interest rate rises, war, politics. But believe me, it's all a part of a steady diet of distraction. Now, I say distraction because there are many other things going on that receive next to no public attention. But they really do have the potential to influence your life. Now, some of them involve our regular sparring partners on this program, people or groups like the World Economic Forum and the United Nations. Take, for example, the United Nations. The UN is warning that the world is headed towards a global recession and prolonged stagnation unless we quickly change the current policy course of monetary and fiscal tightening in advanced economies. That's contained in a new report released by the UN Conference on Trade and Development. It goes on to say the policy-induced global recession could be worse than the global financial crisis of 2007 to 2009 and adds excessive monetary tightening and inadequate financial support could expose developing world economies further to cascading crises. And while all regions will be affected, alarm bells are ringing most for developing countries, many of which are edging closer to debt default. Let me put that in plain language to you. As the Western world puts up interest rates and stops the money printing, the world is grinding to a halt, and it could cause a catastrophic financial problem. But the underlying undercurrent of this is that if we didn't have so many pesky governments and inept politicians to ruin our lives, then maybe we wouldn't be driven into this recession. And I suspect the United Nations means things would be so much better if the UN, in all its unelected wisdom, was actually running the world. Then you see they could enact more policies from our overlords at the World Economic Forum. We speak about them all the time here. They are still keen on transforming the world in their image via the Great Reset and the grandly titled Fourth Industrial Revolution. And I have to say, they sound somewhat buoyant over how things are progressing thus far. See, right now, the WF are providing a platform for those pushing a My Carbon initiative. And, okay, they'll describe it differently, but in my words, it's essentially a personal carbon social credit system that will track everything you do, everything you buy, everything you eat. It's like Big Brother. Now, to understand why the WF are so happy, I'm going to quote directly from their website. There it goes. COVID-19 was a test of social responsibility. A huge number of unimaginable restrictions for public health were adopted by billions of citizens across the world. There were numerous examples globally of maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, mass vaccinations, and acceptance of contact tracing applications for public health, which demonstrated the core of individual social responsibility. That's the WF's words. And why wouldn't they be encouraged by that? I mean, the world accepted unimaginable restrictions with nary a whimper. Just imagine how that is going to embolden their next PSYOPs projects as they attempt to enslave us all. And they're also boasting about their fourth industrial revolution. It's making progress, apparently. And they're using blockchain technology, likely, which will be integrated with central bank digital currencies, to keep track of everything we do. But it's all to save the planet, of course. That's why you see they advocate increased costs for carbon-intensive activities. Now, these activities are things like transport, construction, electricity and the like. And they also want to reduce demand for certain, quote, unspecified things. But I'm guessing they mean the important stuff that I just discussed, that really builds a civilized society. But of course, it could also include, say, meat, air travel, how many children you can have. I mean, who knows how far they want to take this demand reduction in the name of decarbonising the planet. And to top it all off, they want the setting of personal levels of acceptable emissions and a new definition of a fair share of personal emissions to enter the lexicon. Nothing to worry about there at all, is there? Now, if you are a conspiracy theorist, which is actually the name the left give to those who can predict the future with remarkable accuracy, you might think this is all happening by design. I mean, the WEF have been upfront about their agenda for us. WEF founder Klaus Schwab even wrote about it in a book entitled The Great Reset. That's where you'll own nothing and be happy. And we do see a global coordination of attacks on our way of life, on our customs, our morals, and our values. Now, these attacks are levied on nation-states as well, who oppose this agenda by extraordinary and what I consider to be illegal sanctions of those governments and of individuals residing there. Our Anglosphere leaders, they're meant to be the ones representing the free world. Well, they're also pushing global censorship and global taxation. They are weaponising law enforcement and tax collectors against those who resist. And these same leaders celebrate movements that rely on deceit, destruction and chaos to divide society, while a largely compliant media mostly report only the official interpretation of events. These agents of political change are now so emboldened they will happily lie, and they seem to have no fear of being exposed. And that's why they seem happy to misrepresent everything from war to science, from economics to biology, in order to condition you to actually accept what is unacceptable. Now, these things had been done before our very eyes, and yet most people refuse to see it. So many still labour under the belief that government does what it does for our benefit. But if that were true, would our nation be nearly $1 trillion in debt? Would Europe be on the cusp of a financial contagion? Would America be a society divided by racial and identity politics? And if government was so helpful, why would allowing all of us to keep more of the money we earn be deemed so controversial amongst politicians? I mean, surely we're capable of spending our money better than any government can. The truth of the matter is that governments around the world are truly desperate. They've made such a mess of things that we're actually on the brink of ruin. And that's why they want these magnificent distractions that I spoke of earlier. They're hoping the more you focus on the light at the end of the tunnel, that you won't see the train that's heading your way.
More violence on the city's subways as the MTA struggles to lure riders back in the span of just 8 hours.
All right. Old boy went all the way in, but with facts though. Right. And like you said, these people label individuals conspiracy theorists who bring out the other side of the story. Just like that thing that happened that, shut the world down for a couple of years. I know the men of the Lord, including myself, were bringing out so much information on that. And every time we would bring out information, they either take videos down, give strikes, right? You had celebrities that were calling us stupid for believing in what we were believing in, for bringing out what we were bringing out, and come to find out the stuff that we were saying, of course, it was legitimate. But ain't nobody apologize for the stupid. Ain't nobody apologize for y'all crazy, right? All of it turned out to be the truth. And when no videos posted back up, when no strikes given back, none of that, right? Just give it time, man. This devil gonna constantly expose himself because it's written in the word for him to do so. It's written in the word for him to be exposed, right? Now, what's allowing this man to speak how he's speaking is because of who's in charge, right? Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. The people are in mourning because the people are tired of being lied to, tired of trying to believe in the system that is told you is for you, but it shows you total opposite consistently, right? This world is tired of it. I know we are, right? So it's gonna get to a point to where, and the Most High gonna get tired of it too, and he already is showing that he is, right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, and verse 4 says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Right? For her sins have reached unto heaven, and power hath remembered her iniquities." Right? It's getting worse and worse and worse. Right? And the Most High, he won't allow it to continue on, man. We are literally witnessing the end of an empire. The empire called Babylon, right? The empire called us, right? We seeing the end of it, right? We seeing the whore that sitteth upon the scarlet colored beast. We seeing all of that being torn down before our eyes. Those of us that have eyes to see and ears to hear, right? We can see this, but everybody else, it's like in the days of Noah, right? Marrying, giving in marriage, just living every day like what they say. I don't know if people still say this, but you only live once. It's YOLO, right? Living your best life, right? Not understanding, man. You real deal sheep being led to destruction. Right? And so many people have been presenting evidence of it. So many people have been screaming from the top of their lungs about what's really going on. And it's like you speaking to the walking dead. Right? Matter of fact, Let me see. This the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Right? Literally walking dead and don't even know it. You are a sheep being led to destruction and you don't even know it. Right? All this evidence, all of this truth being pushed in your ears and you do not want to hear it. Eventually, it's not going to be pushed in your ears no more. You're going to have to see that. And when you see it, it's too late. Because everything that's been prophesied, everything that's been spoken, everything that's been showed you will be actually in your face, live and in full effect. Right? But at the end of the day, as far as this devil goes, with all of these plots and schemes, the Most High said this, man. Let me see, this is the book of Psalms. Psalms chapter 37 and verse 12. It says, the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. Right? This devil constantly plotting, and it's to the point to where now they feel so proud and so bold with the plot. They feel so confident that people are stupid, basically. Being in the congregation of the dead, meaning your brain is done, it's fried. There is no understanding in you. You don't have knowledge. You don't have intellect. You got knowledge of this world. You have intellect of this world, but the intellect and knowledge of this world is made up. Right? It's literally made up to have you viewing the world a certain way. And when a person try to shine light on the falseness of it, right? You so brain dead, you may even get upset about information that's being brought out to you. Right? Ain't nobody even getting personal with anything. It's just information being brought out to you upsets you. That's how brain dead the majority of people are. Right? Scripture says, the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. Yahweh shall laugh at him. Right? For he seeth that his day is coming. They got a saying in the world. It says, if you want to make the Most High laugh, tell him your plans. You want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And this devil real deal plotting like he finna succeed in this thing. Like he finna carry on with Babylon 4052. And the Most High real life setting you up for destruction. The Most High got you in the trick bag. And the Most High got individuals that refuse to wake up and see this and walk in the truth. You in the trick bag too. Right? This information funny to you. It's ha ha he he. Your ass in the trick bag. You don't even know it. Because it's ha ha he he, but you ain't understanding. The stuff that we've been prophesying on has been coming to pass. All of it. So what make you think it's going to switch up when it comes to the mark of the beast? What make you think it's going to switch up when it comes to the Third World War? What make you think it's going to switch up with the famine of the word, Jacob's trouble, chaos in the streets? What make you think it's going to switch up with that and everything else that come to pass? You fooling yourself. Right? So anyway, with that, how about Shimi Hawashai Ratazah? These precepts in this video are edifying. So let me say this right quick. Psalm 37 and 9. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahweh, they shall inherit the earth. Right. Shalom, Yashala.